Hello YouTube, how's everybody? Recently I read the news that the Browning firearm of Morgan, Utah has quietly ceased the production of the Browning high power sometime in the end of 2017. So to commemorate this sad news, I'm taking out my Browning high power for a good look. Here's my Browning high power. I bought this one new in 1981 or 82. I learned about this pistol because in 1981 when someone tried to assassinate John Paul II, Pope, he used this type of gun. And this gun was featured in NBC News prominently, saying how reliable it was, how devastating it was, and someone can shoot all 13 or 14 rounds in about like 3 seconds. When I saw the report, I said, wow, man, I want that. That's when I got it. Back then, it was expensive, around $600. Of course, now it's more expensive. This one was made in Belgium by Fabrique Nationale. And the Browning high power, of course, many knows that it was designed by John Moses Browning, as his last pistol design. It came out in 1935, made by Fabrique Nationale. And originally, it was sold to the French, and the French called it Grande Puissance, which means high power. The high power was not related to the cartridge, but related to the high capacity, because it was the first one with stagger magazine, allowing 13 rounds in the magazine. Actually, you can fit 14. And it was made by Fabrique Nationale. And it was used by many countries, the armies of many countries, including that of China, Republic of China, under Chiang Kai-shek. They imported a lot of these from Canada, English company. And in Chinese, they call it 屈指枪, which actually means carpenter's edge gun, because it resembled the shape of a carpenter's edge. It's a single action, even though the trigger make it look like it's double action. It is a single action. The Browning design has inspired many other guns, such as this CZ75B. You can see the resemblance. This one, of course, in 40 Smith & Wesson instead of 9mm. And this one is double action. Also an excellent gun, all steel. Just perfect, beautiful. The trigger is pretty crisp, probably about 6 pounds. The magazine doesn't come out completely. That's how the European like it. Come out partially, you have to use a finger to extract it. Now, this gun was designed mostly for ball ammunition, full metal jackets, and it does prefer that. Since I bought it new in 1981, I have shot less than 500 rounds through it, and it functioned very well. But it functions perfectly with ball ammo, with full metal jackets. But when I try to feed it with hollow points, it tend to jam up. Also, it has a magazine disconnect, So you can't press the trigger when the magazine is out of the gun. That was one feature that many people didn't like. Certainly, it was not as well known as John Browning's other design, like this one, the 1911 Colt. Now this one. By the way, all my pistols are not loaded. It's been checked several times before I start filming. None of these are loaded. Of course, this is a Series 80 with a firing pin block. This one has adjustable sights. Just a beautiful gun. Excellent finish, fit and finish. Has walnut grips. Browning, because of production cost, sometime in the 60s, shifted some of the production of their shotguns to Japan. So the BL-22 lever action rifle and the Citori were all made in Japan. They were never made in the United States or Fabrique Nationale. The BL-22 lever action 22 rifle and their Citori shotgun were always made in Japan. And they made excellent product. And then sometime in the 1970s, I read that the Browning sent the parts to Belgium. They're planned in Belgium for assembly. So in the beginning, it was not reflected on the writing here, on the roll mark. But sometime in the late 1980s, the Brownings were stamped with made in Belgium, but assembled in Portugal. This one was probably made in the late 70s or early 80s, and it was still completely Browning, Fabrique Nationale, Belgium. It doesn't say Portuguese anywhere. But it could be assembled in Portuguese, in Portugal. I don't know. But still, it's an excellent quality. So sometime in 2017, it ended the production. Of course, you can still buy Browning clones from made in Turkey, but it's not going to be the same. It's not going to be the original Belgian Browning, though. So the Browning high power, in its 82 years of production, stayed true to itself without much modification. This is the original Browning, and later they changed to a Mark II and Mark III with minor differences, but it never adapted any of the modern features like accessory rail or polymer or anything like that. So this is like a dinosaur, all steel, the way pistols were made in the old days. Of course, with modern firearms such as this one, like Glock 17, this is probably a superior weapon because it's just so reliable. It has accessory rail. You can put stuff on it like lights, lightweight, high capacity. Of course, in California, we can only have 10 rounds. Both of these, both that one and that one, all of them, 10 round magazines. But this is classic, and being a history buff, I love classic guns, even though this is probably shoots better. So here's my elegy for the Browning high power. Just an excellent gun, battle proven in production since 1935. Just an excellent gun. Thank you for watching.